Okay, well, hello again, folks. We're here with Revenue today. I may actually ride both Boomer and Revenue today, and this will be our first rides in the big arena, the unrestricted arena, out of the round pen. And so we're going to go through a lot of the same stuff that we did in the round pen, and I've done pretty much the same stuff with this guy as I've done with Boomer. I've done a little bit more disengaging, or if you'd rather call it a lateral engaging step. Done a little bit more of that with him because he doesn't really know where his hind end is. He's kind of clumsy, he trips over himself from time to time. So today we're going to just work a little bit more basically on the same kind of stuff as we did in the round pen, just with a little more room to move. So, you know, and I usually spend 4 or 5 days in the round pen most of the time with most horses. You can spend more, and I probably would with a younger horse, and you can go back into the round pen a lot of the time, and I will go back into the round pen once I've brought the horse further along. Then we can work on, instead of the broad strokes of follow me, send to the left, send to the right, and disengage, we can work on more drawing in and more liberty work in the round pen. Or well, there's a variety of, anytime you feel like, hey, today would be a good day to work in the round pen, go ahead and work in the round pen. There's nothing really to it. So you see this guy's pretty timid still. So we're just going to warm him up a little by maybe flopping that over his neck. Oh, you see how freaked out he gets at that. Good. Good boy, there it is. Good. Let me just see if I can push him up onto the block here. Yeah, see him think about it. Good boy. He backs up, I'll put the pressure on, he comes forward, take the pressure off. Good boy. He doesn't know how to put his hind feet up on it. That's pretty funny. There you go. That's better. And he's going to benefit from a lot of this kind of stuff. There you go. There you go. Learning where his feet go, where to put them, what to do when you get there. I'd much rather him do this kind of stuff on the ground than when I'm up on his back. Good boy. There. You can see when he's in a calmer state of mind, he has no problems responding nicely, thinking about it. But the moment his heart rate gets going, he starts to get clumsy with his feet. There you go. He quits thinking about what he's doing and he gets heavy and tries to pull back. So there, he wants to go by it. I'm just going to send him back to it. Good. Good boy. Send his hips away. Send his nose back to it. Howdy, Bobby. Good boy. All right. I say that's a good enough warm-up that we can get on this guy. So, see, you wanted to walk back away from me. There. Let him come into me. Put slack in that rope. reach his nose out to me, and I'll be friendly back. Okay. And we're experimenting with different camera angles, I should just let you know. So I wanted to see if I could get a little more of the arena, give you a little better feel for the space of the arena from a higher angle. I'm going to put these videos out regardless, but I'm going to work on trying to find the best angles and the best ways to capture this information for you. Just going to tie my stick up on the saddle here. So I'm going to take the outside rein, have his head, drop the outside rein over his ears, sort out my get down string here, maybe hook it up on the horn, move the reins back. I'm going to scoop the bit underneath his chin. I'm going to reach between his ears and grab the top of the headstall. Then I'm going to bring that bit back up to his lips, lift with my right hand, lift at the top of his headstall, put his nose right in there, let him bite down on it. He's getting better about this every day. I'm not making it a real battle or a focus yet though, just because he's not the kind of horse that would respond too nicely to that. Fix your ear here, buddy. All right, but to give him an extra chance to play with his mouth a little bit, I'm going to undo the rope halter I have here, pass it up into his mouth. See, he's already learning how to gap his mouth to get that. I'm going to pass the noseband underneath the bit, over his tongue, underneath the chin strap, pull it on out. Good stuff. All right. Okay. Good boy. All right. So now I'm going to walk on up, and you see how nice that approach was this time? He didn't try and walk away from me or back up at all. He's thinking about trying it with the cinch here. And if he continues to try that goofy stuff, I may work on that. But as of right now, he thinks he's okay. I think he's just trying different stuff, and if I ignore it, he'll quit doing it. If it gets worse, we'll address it. Okay, so tightened up that cinch. It's not super tight, just snug like a belt. Now I'm going to ask him to laterally flex. Very nice. Good boy. What you goofy about there? Laterally flex. He wants to move his feet. I'm going to keep his nose there till he stays soft. Gets off that rein. Very nice. I'm going to reach back with this inside rein, touch it to the commissure, the corner of his mouth. He brings his ears around nice and level. This horse, even just one ride ago, was really like a Gumby. But now he's figuring all that stuff out. Might do some of my snaffle bit exercises with him, or some snaffle bit. They're not mine per se. Everything I have learned has come from another source, just like everybody else in the world. As Isaac Newton said, if I could see further than others, it was because I stood on the shoulders of giants. Basically, nobody is responsible totally for their own success or their own opinions. It all stems from a original source. There. Drop his nose down. I'm going to wait here. We've stalled out. So I'm just going to wait. Got pressure on both corners of his mouth. Wait until he figures it out. I'm going to wake up this inside rein and ask him to tip his nose. There, he drops it. So release immediately when he drops his nose. If he keeps his head down there, you just reward him. Just relax. There, he wants to start lifting his head. Gonna close in on these reins. There, he drops his nose. Gonna ask again. Bigger drop. Oh, good boy. All right. Pick up on this inside rein. Ask for that flexion again and start massaging these muscle knots in his neck. Oh, yeah. And you see how he's dropping his neck down. Yes. We're taking care of all of this pent-up stress that he just hangs on to in here. All this tension. Good boy. I might close down on that outside rein a bit. Take some slack out. Good. There, and now he's giving in his pull. There, he's getting stiff, so I'm just going to close the inside rein. I'll close my fingers on the outside rein a little more. Inside rein, there's slack in it because he's keeping his nose bent towards me, towards the inside. And I'm just going to leave my fingers right on this knot. There, you see him give to it. Close my finger. There. Good. There, he's pulling against my hand. So I'm just going to keep massage. There, he gets off the pressure. Good boy. So again, look for that inside flex. Look for those muscle knots. You see him start to, he's actually looking forward to this now, and his mouth is alive. The lightest and softest you'll ever feel a horse is when their mouth is in motion. So there, I'm just going to bring his nose back. He kind of ran into that himself. Now I'm going to close down on this outside rein. There, he's starting to, see, he's fighting it a little bit. Then he's giving. Here, I'll close down on this outside rein. His head's getting too, there we go. Massage, massage. Work all these knots out. We really want him to, oh, there, if he pulls on your hand, he's not free to go. If he elastically relaxes down, he can. You see how his ears are crooked? I'm going to close that outside rein, but prevent him from straightening his neck out with the inside rein. And any jerky motions you see, that's him running into his, there. Oh, neck. Or that's him running into my hand. I'm not pulling on him. Okay. Good. His mouth is alive. He's more relaxed. This is good. Okay. Gonna scoop up this right here. He bends to the inside. There. Very nice. So he decides to start walking off. I pick up on this inside rein, wait till he bends, give softly, and quits moving his feet. I'm just going to adjust my legs, get him right into that rider's groove. He decides to walk off. Good boy. So we know we got that bend to a stop going really nicely. I'm going to pick up on a rein, see if we can laterally flex without moving our feet. Not yet. He should start giving softly as I run my fingers down and take the slack out of the rein. So see here, he should be giving. So I'm going to bring my hand back towards my body and upwards. Now I'm going to bring my hand over my saddle horn. There. That's fine. I'm going to slide my fingers down again, ask him to give. Hand over the horn. If his front shoulders aren't moving. Good. Going to switch the whip in my hand, ask him to bend again. There, he moves his feet. I just wait until he quits moving his feet. I'm just going to leave. Yeah, there you go. Good boy. Slide my fingers down. Good, he gives softly. Doesn't move his feet. Slide my fingers down. Doesn't give without moving his feet. Yeah. This is just a progression. So slide my fingers down. There, he gives softly, doesn't move his feet. I'm going to release. Slide my fingers down. Second time. He gives softly, doesn't move his feet, so I'm going to slide my leg back. Ask him to disengage. Good. Take my leg off while he's moving. Wait for him to relax down. Stop his feet again. Give softly. That time I didn't release because I felt him, the momentum. He was still thinking about moving. So just keep him bent around until he relaxes and becomes soft through his body, meaning he's not thinking about going anywhere else. Let me bend his nose to the left. There, give softly and quits moving his feet. Let me ask him again to give to the left. Moves his feet all around, all this nonsense. See how uncoordinated he is when he moves around though? It's not by himself. He just sort of splays out. He's a lot better than what he was doing though. This is getting better. Okay, slide my fingers down on this left side. Close my fingers. He gives softly, doesn't move his feet. Slide my fingers down on this left side. Close my fingers. He gives softly. Reach back with my leg. Tap, tap. There. That was a real disengage. Take my leg off. Wait for him to come to a stop. Good. Oh, he decides to start moving. I take the slack back out of that rein. Close my fingers. Wait for him to decide it's easier to quit moving his feet than it is to keep walking around in this uncoordinated circle. There. I'm going to wait on him. Okay. Now I'm going to start straightening my horse and riding him forward. Because I now can bend him to a stop. I know I can disengage or make him take a lateral engaging step. So the next thing I'll do is ask him to walk off. I just sat tall, squeeze with my legs, and see if we can walk off on a loose rein. I'm going to hold the reins in my right hand because I have the stick in my left hand. That way, if he gets excited at all, I can reach down with this left rein, bend his nose. So here, we've just barely started working on steering, so I'm going to start to go to the steering now with him. See here, even, he's still moving his shoulder out away from his nose. There, his shoulders followed his nose. So, but I want him I'm mostly to walk off on a loose rein. I'm going to steer him a little bit. So right here, he wants to turn his nose out into the arena. I'm just going to keep tapping him with my leg until he turns away and walks off somewhere else. I'm just going to steer him somewhere else. If he decides to go down to, well, I'll let him go down to this end, but you're not going to be able to see me very well. So I'm going to kind of narrate because he wants to go into this gate now. There we go. I just put my legs on till he turned away. And now we're heading off back to the other side of the arena. Again, because he thinks, and you can see in his mind, his idea of escape is to go to this gate, or the gate down in that corner. And if he can get to one of those gates, he can get out to see his friends and rest. That's not the case when you have a rider on your back. So here, this is the first time he went into this part of the arena today. I'm going to reach down that left rein, bend him till he decides to stop his feet. I'm not looking for a perfect disengage right now. This is only, about the fourth or maybe fifth ride on him. I'm just going to tighten up the cinch a little bit because he's more of a roly-poly horse than you might think, just because his body is so discombobulated. Yeah. So, again, bend the nose. Doesn't move the feet. Stick my foot up in the stirrup. Good. 1, 2, jump. Up, in. He doesn't move. Bend his nose because he decides to move. Once he feels my butt touch the saddle, there, he quits moving his feet. Felt me moving my leg to catch my stirrup on the other side, so I bend him back around until he decides to quit. This stuff is fairly simple and fairly boring at the beginning, but if you can get him to start responding correctly to this basic stuff, you won't have to worry about it anymore. It's kind of like getting a trail horse. You see a lot of people get their horse, throw him in the trailer, take him out to the trailhead, kick and slap and ride him and steer him away from the trailer, take them off out into the mountains. They're walking super slow. Take them back to the trailer and they're jigging or trotting the whole way back. And they never improve. They spend 20 years riding that exact same way. Where you spend the first couple rides instead working on that horse wanting to go away from the trailer instead of just getting it to go away from the trailer. And you're going to have 20 more years of enjoyable, easy trail riding. Good boy. He's impulsive at the standstill. He's not running away with us. So, let's walk. Good. And he can walk whichever way he wants. I'm just going to ride right between his ears. I'm going to try and steer him as little as possible. When he gets over to this gate over here, I'm going to put my legs on, and if he doesn't listen to my legs, I'm going to tap with my stick till he gets away. And I'm just steering him the slightest bit there so he doesn't run my knee into the corner, because he's a big, clumsy Bobo. He's not what I would call an intelligent horse. So, there you go. So I'm just relaxed here. If he doesn't turn towards that gate, I stay relaxed. I never give him any indication that I was thinking about that gate at all. I think we're pretty much unlocked from this whole arena at the walk. So let's go to the trot. Good boy. So he quits trotting. There we go. Trots over this way, decides to break to a walk so he can turn towards the gate. Put my legs and my stick on till he goes back to the trot, and then relax. He wants to go down to this side of the arena. That's his prerogative. There, he breaks to a walk, trying to turn towards the gate because he still hasn't figured it out. And you see how he's not really trotting nicely at all. He's just flattering around, kind of running like a chicken with his head cut off, panicking a bit because he's never been given this kind of freedom before. Just trot around. I'm not going to tell you where to go. There, he decides to try and stop himself, so I put my legs on. Now I put my stick on, and I wait for him to come to a trot. And then stop everything, get quiet, and ride with him. You see, he can get a little clumsy though. Funny guy. Okay. Gonna keep riding him around till he kind of thinks about. You already saw twice that he wanted to break to a trot, so now we're gonna keep riding him till he's thinking about that trot more and more, and then we're gonna find a place to let him rest. And to me, a great place to rest would be on that pedestal, but I don't think I've built up enough steering yet to get him to want to be on that pedestal. So instead, I'm right here. He's in the center of the arena. Bring my hand out wide. The only reason he tripped there was he wanted to keep going towards the gate. Oh, so he stalls out on my leg. I'm going to tap, tap, tap till he, there, picks up a trot, take my legs off, wait for him to come to a stop. There, stop his feet and rest him for a minute. Good boy. And an even bigger rest. He can rest underneath me, but he's going to be doing a lot of that in his life. An even bigger rest. I want to shorten my stirrups up one time. So if I hop off him when he stopped his feet, that's going to be the biggest reward, the biggest release of pressure I could ever give him. And I'll just use that opportunity, shorten my stirrups up one time. We'll get on to the next exercise we're going to do with him today because we're working on steering. Good. Nice. Now we're secure, riding securely. Okay. His breath is slow. He's not moving his feet. He can bend his nose to the right without moving his feet. He can bend his nose to the left without moving his feet. Good boy. So let's walk off. And you can always work on steering at the walk. That's not a bad thing to do. So here, he's ignoring the steering. Put my legs on. Put my legs on so that he's not disengaging. He follows his nose. There you go. And his shoulders are following his nose. But that'll take a lot of time if you just keep doing it at the walk. It's more effective, and it teaches it at the walk if you can start doing some steering exercises at the trot. That way you're not wobbling around like a drunken sailor. So we go to the trot, and I'm going to see if I can keep him trotting and make a left turn. If he ignores my hand, there, I use my leg. Keep my hand still. Once he follows my hand, I release, make sure he keeps trotting. Can he turn here? See, he's trying to disengage. So I'm going to tap on the top of his croup. and wait until he figures out that this is not the right answer. There. So pick up on this rein. There. You see why establishing forward, especially with this horse, is very important before you start to try and steer. Because otherwise, your horse will slow down every time you touch the reins and break gait. That's a big reason why I'm riding this guy. Here, I'm going to ask him to turn right. Stay at a trot. There. Travel out. Good boy. Ask him to turn left and trot. There. Ask him to turn left. Ask him to turn right. Look right. There, his shoulders went right. Ask him to turn left. Look left. Oh, he breaks gait. I'm going to go move my legs around, start riding crazy. He picks his feet back up and his speed back up, and I relax. And with him, this kind of stuff is the important stuff. My hand is out wide. There. Trot. I don't know what it is with this horse, if he's just not coordinated enough to trot and turn, if he's not strong enough, or if he just hasn't figured it out. If it's behavioral, we'll probably see that change in a few days. If it's physical, he'll continue to have issues with it. There you go. But that's the lesson. Every time he breaks into a walk, he gets a slap in the butt with the stick after you touch him with your legs. He's already doing kind of a nice circle. Maybe we'll just let him ride along. And here, you feel him consistently wanting to turn to the right. Bows off to the right. I'm going to turn him to the left. Put my legs on. Ask him to turn left. There. There. He wants to turn right. I'll let him do that to get away from the fence. Here he's bowing right, so I'll pick up my reins. Turn him left. Tell his shoulders follow left. Pick up my left rein. He's still there. His shoulders followed. Trot. There. Pick up my right rein. Ask him to turn back, do kind of a teardrop. Get him trotting. Here I'm not creating a battle where I'm saying, hey, you should have been trotting. I'm just saying every time you break trot, I'm going to bother you, I'm going to tap you, I'm going to kick you until you pick up the trot again. I'm going to see if we can turn left again, do this half of the arena. There. He's just there. Give him a little firmer tap. Show him I'm serious. Yeah, you can bend that way. Can you bend this way? There. Good boy. Can I turn him left around this box? Wait till the shoulders go. There, shoulders went. Can I turn him right? There. Just getting a little firm with him, telling him, hey, if you keep breaking to a walk, this pressure is going to get heavier. See if he'll turn left. Put my legs on. Tap his croup. There. See if he'll turn left on the inside of the box. Yep. See, there you go, dummy. See if he'll turn right on the inside of the box. Good. There you go, big man. Turn left. Turn left. Think about it. Turn left. Keep trotting. Now you can see where he gets discombobulated. He can't think about his whole body. There, he decides to try and stop to take a poo. That's not going to work. I'm just going to keep tapping you till you trot. It's very simple things. It's a game of Simon Says. If Simon says, keep trotting, don't stop trotting. If you stop trotting, it's going to be bad for you. Here, I'm posting with him, and he's finding this difficult. So I'm going to trot with him for a while. Do this big circle. If he breaks down, I put my legs on and start tapping with my stick. And I imagine he's getting pretty close to out of breath. Bend right again. So, maybe he passes these gates, rides to the center of the arena, and we can end him. Think about it. There you go. Even if you stumble, you have to keep trotting. Improper planning on your end does not constitute an emergency on my end. So right here, as we get to the center, he's getting tired. I bring my hand to the outside, stop the motion of the front legs, then bring my hand over my saddle horn, wait for that hind end to come to a stop, wait for him to give softly, and we'll relax here. And I'm going to keep working with him at a trot, seeing if I pick up on the left rein. Will his nose, eye, and ear flick that direction? And then will his shoulders follow his nose? Just hold on to that direct rein until his shoulders follow. This horse is really important to do that with, because if I were to let go of the rein while his shoulder was going the opposite way I was steering, he'd learn very quickly how to blow his shoulders out as you're riding along. And that can cause a lot of problems. So we're nipping that in the bud, and we're focusing on mainly that. Forward motion and direction. Those are the only two things we need to work on with him. Good boy. So I may do that once or twice more with him, but after that, I'm just going to let him catch his breath, and we'll be done for the day, because he's making huge progress. Clumsy, doesn't think ahead, not very intelligent, but we're making progress. And he's a good-hearted fellow. Good-hearted old guy. Good. You got any questions, Cricket? While we're standing here, I'll see if... What's that? The follow the fence? I'm going to do that more with Boomer. This guy, he needs a little work with the direction first. We can do follow the fence, but it's not going to be as useful for him yet.
What made you choose when you changed direction, since you were just getting forward in direction?
Just if he was going along straight, then he's in balance. So it's time to change that balance to have him find it again. So if he's going straight, then it's time to turn. If he's turning one direction, go ahead and turn the opposite. And you see here, as we're relaxing and resting, I'm just working on getting that softness and keeping those feet still. Yeah. And if we keep working on this left-right softness, eventually when we're riding, we can pick up on both reins and get vertical softness without really ever addressing that. I only address it a little bit in my snaffle bit exercises when I first put the bit in. But that's just laying the groundwork for the future, putting in a shortcut. There you go. See, if I were to pick up on both reins here, you see his pole's stiff and his head gets higher and he sticks his nose straight out? That's the mistake most people make when they try to get their horse to back up first, is they haven't gotten him soft enough from left to right before they ask for that vertical flexion. Or sometimes they will get that vertical flexion, but then there'll be stiffness for the horse's whole life. Or they'll use gimmicks like draw reins to get their head down, because they think that if they just yank their head down. But what they're doing in that case is they're not strengthening the muscles that the horse uses himself to give him self-carriage. They're strengthening the opposite muscles, how to flatten out, how to lift their head and neck, because that's what they're pulling against all day. So if I want to put my horse's head down, I'm going to lift his head up as high as it can go, and he'll realize, oh, there's no escape here. And all of a sudden he'll try and duck his nose, whoop, and he gets release. And we build on that. Nice. His breathing's back to normal. So I'm going to see, can we walk? There's a walk. I put my legs on and he kind of spilled out. At this point, because we're working on teaching him how to go forward, if I put my legs on and he doesn't energetically walk out, he gets tapped immediately. That way we create, hey, that's a pretty good steer. I'm going to steer him to the left, see if he'll do that. Still running his shoulder out. There, followed his shoulder. Here, move up. You'll see his feet follow the nose, like this. He's doing it perfectly fine just there. Pick up on this rein. The feet follow the nose. He's doing that perfectly fine. There, he keeps going to the right, so I'll pick up on this left rein. Good. His nose goes to the left. Then he actually almost straightens out. Still kind of keeps going to the left, though. Pick up on that right rein. He goes immediately right. Then he thinks about going back left. And kind of tried to stop his feet. So I asked him to walk out and go to the right. Here he wants to go to the left. I'm going to ask him to walk out and go to the right. Good. Let's go to the trot. I'm going to pick up on this rein. Oh, steers pretty nicely that way. Pick up on this left rein. There he goes to the left, but he's still bowing his shoulder towards that gate. There. Kept trotting and went to the left. It's not very easy to see so much, Cricket. It's much easier to feel. Pick up on this rein. Does he go towards this gate or that gate? Oh, he goes towards the correct gate. Good boy. Pick up on this rein. See if I can turn him across half the arena. Good. Pick up on this right rein. See if I can steer him this way. Up. Yeah. He got so worried about turning right, he forgot where his front feet were. Pick up on this right rein here. Nice. Good. Pick up on this left rein here. Good. Pick up on this left rein here. Steer towards the wall. Good. Pick up on the right rein. Steer. Yep. Trot. There you go. Good. Pick up on this right rein. Steer towards this big black box. Good. Pick up on the left rein. Steer into the middle of the arena. Let's make a whole half circle. There we go. Pick up on the left rein again. Good. Pick up on the right rein. That time he turned more out of fear of the box, but he still did the right thing, so he gets a release. There. You have to turn tighter, and you can't slow down. What are you going to do? You're going to put your legs underneath you in a more athletic position instead of standing splayed out like a wooden horse on a rockers. Pick up on the right rein. There. Good. Pick up on the left rein here. Good. There. See when I clicked, he drove his hind feet underneath him? And when I gave his head back to him completely, he couldn't deal with it and fell on his own face. Good. Pick up on the left rein. Ride to the wall. Good. Pick up on the right rein. Turn towards the other wall. Pick up your speed. Pick up your speed. There you go. Pick up on the right rein. Pick up your speed. There you go. Good. Right rein. Good. Left rein. Wait for that. Yeah, there's the shoulders following. Very nicely. Putting slack into the rein, turning his nose, eyes, and ears, and neck that way, following with his shoulder. Very good. I'm going to come back around, go to the center here again, right under the flag, bring my hand out to the side, slow those front feet down. Once they stop moving, bring my hand over the saddle horn and wait for the hind feet to stop moving and for his nose to get soft. He did all of those things, so he gets to rest there, catch his breath. And in fact, he did so good that last time, he wasn't really blowing his shoulders out anymore. He wasn't as worried about everything anymore. He was trotting much more cruisy and actually slowing down when I picked up the reins and having me speed him back up to collect him, to engage his hindquarters. I think that would be a great place for him to stop today. Good boy. Good boy, Revenue. Any questions, Cricket? Good.